Hi. So this exercise that I call Arpeggiator from back in the day from the university. So what it is you are linking arpeggios. So let's say we think of a blues in G. So we've got our simple blues in G, our 1, 4, 5. So we've got G7 and C7 and then D7. So the arpeggio for G, we're going to do it from the root, just like the E-shaped bar chord, the root on the E string. So the arpeggio for this. And for the C7, we're going to do, we've got the A-shaped bar chord with the root on the 5th. So our 5th string, A string, so our arpeggio is going to go from the A string, root on the A string. And I'm just going to stay in that position. I'm not going to go up the neck and join shapes. Just going to stay in those shapes in this position on the neck. Yeah. So the point of the exercise is to get you to be able to think when you're at any point in the arpeggio where the nearest point of the other arpeggio is. So basically, let's say I think I'm going to go up G7 arpeggio using quarter notes, and I'm going to do 2 bars of G7, and then wherever I get to, then in the next bar I've got to change to the C7 arpeggio. So here's what I mean: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I got to that point in the arpeggio. Yeah, I'm on the B string, 6th fret. So where's the nearest note in the C7 arpeggio? So what I don't want to do is have the sense of and have to go back to the root of the C7 arpeggio. I want to be able to know the C7 arpeggio well enough to be able to get to it from any point in it, from any note in it, not having to go back to the root to picture the whole thing, to visualize the whole thing. So if I'd got to, as I did, 6th fret of the B string, well, the nearest note just one semitone or 1 fret away of the C7 arpeggio is down 1 fret, 5th fret of the B string, which is the major third of the C. So it would sound like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, and then I can either carry on up the C arpeggio, or I could carry on down the C arpeggio. And if I didn't know it past the root, I'd start to go back up it again. Whatever you do, whether you carry on up the arpeggio and then come back down, or go down the arpeggio and then go back up, you're going to, 2 bars later, you're going to be in a different part of the arpeggio, and then you've got to find again the nearest note of your following chord arpeggio. So I've done this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go down to the E note for my C arpeggio. 1, 2. Now I'm going to choose to go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 bars on the C, and I've got to this note, which is note G. So my next chord, I'm going back to the 1 chord, it's G. So that note G is obviously within the G arpeggio. So I know that, so that one's a bit easy. So I could stay on it, or I could just go to the next note of the G arpeggio, either up to the major third or down to the flat 7. So that would sound something like this. So what did I have? I could have done that, go up the G7 arpeggio, or that was the C7 arpeggio. Now I want another note for the G7 arpeggio. Yeah, or I could have done that. So basically, whatever note you're on, you want to find the nearest note of your upcoming arpeggio. Let me try it a different way. Say if let's see, so where did we get to? And let's say I go, so I got to that G again, so now I'm going to the C7 arpeggio, so the nearest note would be the flat 7 of the C, and then I've come down on that note C, the C7 arpeggio, and then to go to the nearest note of G7, it's just a semitone down, it's the major third of the G7. And then once I've gotten familiar with that, going between the arpeggios of those two chords, then I could bring the arpeggio of the 5 chord in. So then I'd find, and I could use the, to keep in this area of the neck, I could use the C shape arpeggio, C7 shape arpeggio, for the D chord, for the 5 chord. So let's say I was going from G7 to D7, or thinking of those shapes, so E shape to C shape. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the nearest note is that one. Second fret of the top E string. Yeah, F sharp. The third of D7. So let's say I did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So I hope that's helpful.